massive news. Monica, what is it?
Yeah, that's an exciting build-up. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Arjun, and thanks for having me here. So I'm very excited. I think just a few minutes ago, our announcement crossed the wire. So I'm really excited to share with you a deal we've been working on for some time.
What is the role of a prime broker? It's actually quite simple. Prime brokers are commonly referred to as third-party credit providers, are there to inject capital into the market to allow clients to trade across a whole ecosystem.
So if you hold Bitcoin or Ether or Cardano or XRP, congratulations, Ripple, Solana and a few others, you'll get a drop.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems.
You can take RLUSD to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to RLUSD. You could take RLUSD to gold.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all of them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Shout out to Let It Sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We got XRP back up to around the $2 range. We got some news hot off the press. Uphold Inc., Ripple, and the SEC have jointly requested a pause on the appeal, signaling that the settlement is in motion. Final approval from the commission is pending. Zoom says Ripple and the SEC have submitted a joint request to pause the appeal. The settlement is pending. Commission approval. James K. File on the parties have filed a joint motion to hold the appeal in abeyance based on the parties' agreements to settle. The settlement is waiting commissioner approval. No brief will be filed on April 16th. To summarize this up, the SEC is ready to settle, but are waiting for Atkins to take the helm as the new SEC chief so he can start off with dropping the biggest case of their career and start with a huge win. Speaking of, Cointelegraph pro crypto Paul Atkins has been confirmed as the new SEC chair. TikTok. Ripple says crypto awareness and adoption are at an all-time high in the UK and across Europe. The UK has the highest rate of crypto holders in the region, with 19% of its population saying they hold crypto currently. Explore the key insights and use cases from regulatory trends and the evolving roles in the new report from. You can check out the article on the Ripple website. Web3 and crypto in France and Europe. All roads lead to the bridge. The Digital Pound Foundation, the UK, is at a crucial juncture in the digital asset space. At Ripple's UK Policy Summit, we discussed how the UK can solidify its position as a global leader in the digital asset space. Digital Asset Policy and Regulations UK Policy Summit. Digital Pound Foundation, Ripple. Ripple's UK Policy Summit highlighted the urgent need for clear, effective regulations to drive innovation and growth in the sector. We got one from Crypto Eddie. The company Ripple has selected the Hidden Road as its next acquisition. So what exactly do they do? Michael Higgins, global head of the business development at Hidden Road Partners.
What is the role of a prime broker? It's actually quite simple. Prime brokers are commonly referred to as third-party credit providers, are there to inject capital into the market to allow clients to trade across a whole ecosystem in a safe, capital and cost-efficient way. Specifically for crypto, we as a prime broker allow the client to trade wherever they want, and on a post-trade basis, give up the positions to Hidden Road where they net and settle. And so very quickly, wherever they want is bucket one is the crypto exchanges and spot perpetual swaps, futures and options. Bucket two is the OTC market, where they face market makers bilaterally from trading, but they give up the position to the prime broker where it nets and settles. Bucket three for us is we're the only PB in the world that'll cross margin and margin finance native crypto against regulated futures and options, for example, CME. And finally, the fourth bucket is clients can trade on non-custodial ECNs where we provide credit, including the likes of Rule Match that are coming online and winning material market share. And so as a PB, we provide clients credit, margin financing to trade across all of these. We take away the counterparty risk. They face and settle with us. It's a well-known, well-capitalized entity. What we're not doing is we're calling ourselves a PB and then giving clients a platform that routes all their trades. And in some instances, these so-called PBs are actually running trading desks. This is a very different business and one that presents very different risks and concerns that clients need to carefully evaluate. Many of these firms we hear calling them PBs are unregulated and thinly capitalized. So that's a little bit of perhaps why there's the haziness, what we do and certainly what we do not do.
We got the Paris Blockchain Week. Big news. Monica Long, president of Ripple, announced a $1.25 billion acquisition of Hidden Road, making Ripple the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker. This marks a major step in bridging TradeFi and DeFi for institutional markets.
Massive news. Monica, what is it?
Yeah, that's an exciting build-up. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Arjun, and thanks for having me here. So I'm very excited. I think just a few minutes ago, our announcement crossed the wire. So I'm really excited to share with you a deal we've been working on for some time. So Ripple is acquiring Hidden Road, which is a prime broker. They're a very high growth prime broker, one of the largest as the non-bank prime brokers. And this is a big deal. It's $1.225 billion.
What does it mean?
Thank you.
What does it mean for Ripple's business? Because you've been on a path to really diversify the business beyond kind of how you started in payments, and there's custody, stable coins now. And so what does this add to the Ripple business?
It's all coming together. So we've talked for a long while about institutional decentralized finance. Many of us here talk about institutions coming into the world of blockchain and DeFi. And this is going to blast that into a new milestone, kind of a new stratosphere. So the idea here is Hidden Road, through its prime broker business, is able to supercharge a lot of what we do. So using Ripple USD, the stable coin, as collateral for all of its prime brokerage services, as well as using XRP Ledger for a lot of its post-trade services. And of course, we've actually known Hidden Road for years because we've been a client of theirs on the payment side to provide FX and those services to payments. So there's many good synergistic opportunities.
Institutions, banks, enterprises on their way to pump our bags up. That Bank XRP will take a close look at the regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and the new payment systems. United States Secretary of Treasury, Scott Besnet.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street. Under President Trump's leadership, the Treasury Department and I will deliver that to you. Thank you.
Angry Crypto Show Justin Cardano founder Charles Hawkinson says in the coming months we'll have a massive airdrop to 37 million people on 8 networks. If you hold Bitcoin, ETH, ADA, XRP, Sol, and a few others, you'll get a midnight airdrop. With chain abstraction, you can use midnight and pay with your own crypto.
In the coming months, we're going to do an airdrop to 37 million people on 8 networks. So if you hold Bitcoin or Ether or Cardano or XRP, congratulations, Ripple, Solana, and a few others, you'll get a drop. Everybody gets a taste. Second, you have to have chain abstraction. It means that if you're in any of these networks, you can use midnight and pay for it with your own cryptocurrency. Ether, ADA, or Bitcoin, whatever you have, you can use. In the coming months,
massive airdrop to XRP holders inbound. We got Stellar.org recently leaked memo indicated that the U.S. government is exploring issuing a U.S. funding for humanitarian efforts on blockchain. With its customizable deployment options, near insight, bulk payments, and full auditability, Stellar presents the most viable blockchain solution. Uphold Inc. CEO Nancy Beaton says you could take RLUSD to gold. XRP will be an auto bridge asset for every RLUSD transactions. Thinking crypto.
You can take RLUSD to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to RLUSD. You could take RLUSD to gold. So on our platform, you can really trade anything to anything. So it makes it really easy for the user to get in and out of what they want.
Subject views. If you tell a big enough lie and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it.
Let's talk about the strategic Bitcoin Reserve executive order, because I think this outlines, pretty much what our thinking was here. And, first and foremost, we view Bitcoin as being unique. It's a commodity, not a security. It has the immaculate conception, as David likes to say, meaning that there is no issuer, and that's intrinsic stored value, right? So we look at these things and say, okay, we want to recognize it for what it is, which is being different. But we also want to recognize what's happening in a lot of these other ecosystems in this space, because it's also fantastic. And And so we had the strategic Bitcoin reserve, we had the digital assets national stockpile, giving credence to everything else going on, but also making sure that we separate Bitcoin because it is very different. We view Bitcoin as digital gold, and I've been, very clear about that. And so the question I get asked, by a lot of journalists is, well, how much Bitcoin do you want? I'm like, well, that's like asking us, how much gold do we want? We want as much as we can get as a country, so long as we acquire it in budget neutral ways that don't cost the taxpayer a dime.
At the Digital Asset Investor, we tried to tell you, I finally capitulated on crypto and accepted that it was a transparent coordination between the Treasury and the Federal Reserve. It's not even hidden anymore.
Back in 2020, when I finally capitulated and accepted that it was a transparent coordination between the Treasury and the Federal Reserve, and the Treasuries and the central banks globally, I think that was kind of where I capitulated and said, okay, this is what's going to happen from here, because it's not even hidden anymore. And therefore, it took me too long, I'd say, to recognize that it was here to stay. And the Silicon Valley Bank case was the final nail in the coffin. I remember you and I doing an emergency live, probably on the week after the Silicon Valley case, and you basically just leaned back and said they're going to, just going to backstop this. And having worked in banks and cooperated with bank treasuries, I was scared of that because, it was the first thing I saw when I entered the trading desk. It was Lehman, and it wasn't backstopped, right? And this felt Lehman-like when I, immediately when I saw I kind of got that PTSD from the Lehman crisis. And I told people that this is Lehman-like if they don't do anything. But they backstopped it, and they backstopped it immediately. And the defining moment for me was this. I think I can't remember his name, but a senator from Oklahoma asked Janet Yellen in Congress, maybe the week after Silicon Valley Bank, okay, if this was one of the community banks in Oklahoma, would you backstop that bank as well? Would you backstop my voters' deposits in such case? And she didn't give a clear answer. And that led to this whole deposit flight from regional banks into larger banks. Ultimately, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Secretary basically more or less publicly stated, okay, we're also going to backstop the regional banks as a consequence. So the system is now backstopped officially. That was where I caved in, finally.
We got one from Uga Buga. Uga Labs is proud to announce that all brethren attending the 4th edition Moon Party will be gifted a free custom Moon Party edition Uga tee, our way of recognizing the initiated in the flesh, who qualify as holders of any of the following: brethren, elders, council, SOG, valid Moon Party ticket, how to claim your personalized tee. Open up a ticket in the Discord, in the Uga Buga Discord, share your Moon Party ticket as proof. Provide the name that you want on your tee. Send the NFT that you want featured in the design. Drop your shipping address. Deadline April 15. Get it early to secure your shirt in time for the Moon Ritual. Deadline April 15th.
Party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. It's a Moon Party. It's a Moon Party.
Sentiment feed. Bitcoin's positive sentiment FOMO erupts, some returns to 82.9K in the Terror pause. Mustache, altcoins, USDT dominance is at a crucial point. I think we'll see a collapse in the next few days, weeks. If so, will probably be the last leg of the bull market. However, the last leg is always the strongest. At Grad Crypto, XRP symmetrical triangle, $30. Let's focus on this cycle of the breakout from the symmetrical triangle instead of using the triangle as measured move. I'm looking at the last pump from 2017 cycle, which was an incredible 2,600% starting from $1.20. We see a retracement back to the edge of the triangle, then $30 is definitely within reach. With that being said, Batman bag ladies, the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP rich list. The countdown continues for the 4th edition Moon Party down in Austin, Texas, 4/26/2025. If you haven't grabbed your ticket and you plan on coming, please grab your tickets so we can get a final head count for the food. With that being said, Batman bag ladies, where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? We'll catch you up here on the mothership. BYOB, bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. I'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round.